What would you do if your rival claimed your throne? Raise an army, forge alliances, or would you mint coins showing his royal face replaced with a death's head? In 16th century Portugal, a desperate prince fighting for his crown turned to macabre propaganda, creating what history remembers as the corpse crown. The year was 1580. King Henry of Portugal, old and childless, had died. With no heir, the throne was suddenly up for grabs and Europe's greatest powers prepared to pounce. At the center of this crisis stood two men: Philip II of Spain, ruler of the world's largest empire, and Antonio, prior of Crato, an illegitimate grandson of a Portuguese king who believed the crown was his by right. Philip had power, money, and armies. Antonio, he had passion, stubbornness, and eventually a very dark imagination. Portugal's nobles and churchmen, fearing instability, leaned toward Philip. After all, he was wealthy, powerful, and could protect Portugal's empire overseas. But many ordinary Portuguese despised the idea of being swallowed by Spain. Antonio declared himself king, rallying resistance against the Spanish tide. Yet Antonio was outmatched. Spanish troops crushed his forces at the Battle of Alcantara in 1580, and Philip II claimed the Portuguese throne, uniting the crowns of Spain and Portugal under his rule. But Antonio refused to accept defeat. In exile, he fought his war not only with swords but with symbols. He ordered coins to be struck, coins that mocked Philip's kingship. Where Philip's face should have been, there was only death, a skull, staring back at whoever held it. It was a shocking message. Philip might sit on the throne, but he was nothing more than a walking corpse, his reign doomed from the start. These death coins, the so-called corpse crown, weren't just currency. They were propaganda. Every exchange was a silent act of rebellion, a reminder that Portugal did not belong to Spain, and that Antonio still lived. Antonio spent years in Italy, traveling to France, England, and the Netherlands, seeking support for his cause. He launched raids, stirred revolts, and spread his message. But his campaigns faltered. No great power fully backed him, and Philip's grip on Portugal held firm. The corpse crown became less a weapon of war, and more a haunting reminder of a lost king who never truly ruled. Antonio, prior of Crato, died in poverty in Paris in 1595, still calling himself King of Portugal. Philip II ruled until his death in 1598, leaving behind a vast but troubled empire. But the corpse crown, that lived on a bizarre piece of numismatic history, where a skull wore a crown to declare that Spain's victory was hollow. So what do you think? Was Antonio's skull coin one of history's boldest acts of rebellion, or just the desperate gesture of a lost king? Tell us in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us here on Chronoclips for more tales proving that history is stranger than fiction.